Hey, baritones and tubas! Hope you guys are doing well and hope you had a great weekend, enjoyed the beautiful weather. I hope that you are ready for some awesome baritone tuba playing. Let's start today, as we always do, with our good warm-up. So starting with our mouthpiece and buzzing. What's your favorite song on your mouthpiece? What song is that?
The Tuba Buzz song.
Make sure you do sirens and tonguing each time you buzz. All right, just practice those things, especially when you're buzzing. All right, now we're going to do, last week we learned our 3-note scale. However, then you learned 2 new notes. So we're going to add those notes to our scales. And so today we're going to play our 5-note scale. All right, so this is exciting because we'll stay with our 5-note scale for quite a while. And this is a really, really important next step. So our 5-note scale, we're going to start with our B flat. Then we're going to go to, so B flat, no fingers. Then we're going to go to our C. So show me your fingers for C. Then D. Then E flat. And then high F, no fingers. All right, as we go higher, we have to think faster air. We have to firm up our embouchure, firm up the corners of our mouth. Use your stomach muscles to help bring that sound out. All right, make sure we're sitting up nice and tall and aim for those high notes. As we, as we practice them, and the more we practice them, we're building those muscles, and those higher notes will get easier and easier to play. All right, here we go. Whole notes, please. So 4 beats for each note of our 5-note scale. Starting on our B flat, breathe in between notes whenever you need to. 1, 2, B flat, and. Remember, we only play the highest note one time, and then we come back down, all right? Every time you practice this week, you need to play your 5-note scale after you buzz for your warm-up, okay? And then, let's do our 5-note scale with quarter notes, all right? So 4 quarter notes for each note of our 5-note scale, all right? Lots of numbers in here. All right, so we're going to really focus on our tonguing. All right, nice clean tonguing for each note of this scale. All right, here we go. From the beginning, same notes up the 5-note scale. 1, 2, B flat, and. Good job holding that last note. Awesome. All right, cool. So that was our warm-up for today. Make sure every time you practice, even if it's not with this video this week, that you still do that warm-up. All right, cool. So guys, we're going to start with a review song in the book, as we've been doing. So today's review song is page 8, number 1.23. At the very bottom of page 8, 1.23, this is where we first started using that F. All right, first learned that new note, the F. And that is our highest note, all right, of that we've learned so far. So let's take a look where it is on the musical staff, all right, so that you're always aware of what the F looks like, okay? And remember, no fingers down, no valves, it's all open, just like our low B flat is, all right? But we change our embouchure to play the higher notes, right? All right, guys, since you've already worked on this song, probably a bunch, we are going to go straight through it and just play it together nice and slow. Here we go, from the beginning. And 1, 2, ready, and. Rest, rest. Rest. 1, 2, Awesome. Hey guys, count back from the end of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. 4 measures from the end of the song. Notice this is where it jumps down to the low B flat, right? And then it steps up to the C, and it steps up to the D, steps up to the E flat. This is just like our 5-note scale, right? Except for right there, it's just 4 notes. And then there's a rest, and then they put the 5th note, that high F, in there. All right, so our scales are everywhere in our music. We just have to be aware of them and look for them. And once we can connect those parts of the music to the scales that we warm up with every day, it's going to make playing like that kind of stuff in the music so much easier. All right, so guys, I know some of you probably are thinking to yourself, we just played that so slow. I've been working on this. I could do it way faster. I bet you can. So the important thing, though, to remember as we're playing these videos together, make sure you stay with us, all right? Don't rush through them because music is never a race. It's never a race to see who can get to the end of it first. It's all about staying together, all right? And that's always the goal in music, staying together. So if we start the song slowly, you need to stay at that same speed the whole time. Just because you can play it faster never means that you should play it faster all the time, all right? So if I start the song faster, though, that means we can all play it faster together. So why don't we try this one more time for all of you baritones and tubas at home that are thinking, I could do this so much faster. We'll all try it faster this time, all right? So this time you still have to stay with me, all right? Remember, if you hesitate at all, you're like, some of that's too fast. Remember, that's just your brain telling you that that's a spot to focus on. We talked about this last week. Focus on those harder spots, all right? And then airband them a whole bunch of times and then just play those measures by themselves. And if you can do them 3 times in a row perfectly, that means then you'll be able to play it with the whole music usually, all right? It means you know it. So if you're not able to stay with us, go back, work on it a little bit more, but let's try it faster. Here we go. Stay with us always, okay? Here we go from the beginning. 1.23, even higher, even faster. And 1, 2, ready, and rest, rest. Rest, rest. 1, 2. Yeah, nice job. Cool, guys. Hopefully you were able to stay with us and play that. That was fun. Okay, so let's move on to our 2 new songs for today. So let's look at page 9. All right, we're going to start with 1.24, Down by the Station. So do you guys know this song? This is a song that used to be sung a lot. Like when we were in school, like in elementary school, we would sing it in like our general music classes. Did you sing it in class? Do you remember this one?
I had a different title, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So I sang it when I was in music class, and it goes like, down by the station early in the morning. And then I don't remember any of the rest of the words. Is that how yours went?
I have no idea.
No. All right, anyway, so you guys might recognize it, or maybe your parents would recognize it. But anyway, it's a cool song to play. So notice at the very top of your book, it has a big blue box. That means there's something new. And it's talking about phrasing, specifically about these little commas that we have sometimes above our staff, or above our musical staff. So the comma is called a breath mark. All right, and you can read at the top under phrasing what it says about breath mark. A breath mark indicates to take a breath through your mouth. All right, so here's the thing with playing our instruments. Obviously, band instruments, wind instruments, we have to use our air to play them, right? So we have to breathe, and that's a big part of playing our music and learning how to play it. It's learning how to breathe and when to breathe. All right, so in our music from now on, they're going to start marking good spots to breathe. Obviously, anytime you have a rest, that's a great spot to breathe. However, sometimes in your music, you don't have rests. Like this song, Down by the Station, there are no rests in there. So when do you breathe? So it's showing you the best spots to breathe. All right, and the other thing that we have to talk about really quick, we should try to, when you're playing your instrument, try to breathe through your mouth. Mr. Herman, when you're playing tuba, do you breathe through your mouth? Or is it kind of a mixture when you're playing?
Normally through my mouth, but if I need more air, then a mixture.
A mixture, okay. So you got to do what you got to do, right? baritones and tubas, we just got to take in as much air as we can. So a lot of times we can take in the fastest amount of air, like through the corners of our mouth. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like when I'm playing, like I won't even lift my mouth fully away from my mouthpiece. I'll just use the corners. Like, let me show you. So like the front of my mouth is still on my mouthpiece. I just bring the corners out to try to get a bunch of air in on the sides. Okay, so I want you to try doing that as we're playing today. Don't lift the whole thing away and then put it back down, because you don't really have time for that, right? All right, guys, so down by the station, let's airband it. We'll say the first 2 measures with you, and you say the rest by yourself as we practice our fingerings. Here we go. Down by the station, beginning 2, ready, and B flat, B flat, C, D, D, breathe. You say it. B flat, breathe. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try playing this song. It's using all 5 notes of your 5-note scale, all the 5 notes we've learned so far. And let's make sure we try to breathe where the breath marks are. Tubas especially, you guys probably are going to have to breathe more often, all right? And that's normal. That's good. You need to breathe. Breathe when you need to, okay? We don't want anybody passing out. Do not pass out as you're playing your instrument, ever. Breathe when you need to. All right, here we go. From the beginning. 1, 2, B flat, and... Breathe. Good. Guys, I would recommend if there's any spots in there that you hesitated on at all to go back and remember, just work in those little sections because there's some tricky measures in there. All right, so pause the video, go back, especially like measure 3. That one's tricky. Go back, airband it a bunch of times, then just play that measure by itself, and then go back to the beginning of the song, or even rewind this video and see it if you can then play it straight through with us without slowing down at all and without hesitating. All right. But don't go faster than us, right? If you think you can play this faster, then pause the video, play it faster by yourself. Don't just play faster over us. All right, that's not a good habit to get into, as we were talking about before. Okay, guys, let's go down to the next song, 1.25, Some Folks Do. So above this song, it's talking about a composer named Stephen Collins Foster. All right, so he was an American composer or songwriter. And so you can read that information that it tells you about him. Those boxes that the book gives you are really cool and really interesting because they give you information about, musicians and composers from long ago that have left their mark. They've been important because we still remember their music. All right, and then next to the music box, there's one that says art, and you can read about what was happening in the art world and in the whole world during that same time period. So pretty cool stuff. Read those because it's really interesting to connect our music to what was happening in history at that time. All right, so some folks do. Now, look at the song. It's missing some things, right? So it says, before you play, draw these symbols where they belong. The bass clef, the time signature, which is like our 4/4, right? And the final bar line. So I want you to first pause the video, grab a pencil, always a pencil, and write those 3 things in. You can use the other songs on the page, right, as an example so you can see exactly what they look like. Make sure you write those in so that, 1, you're practicing those symbols, and so that our music is complete and you can read it fully when you're playing it. All right, awesome. Guys, let's airband this song, and then we're going to play it. Here we go. Airband it. We'll say the first 3 measures with you this time. Here we go. Beginning 2, ready, and D, 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 F, 2, 3, breathe, E flat, E flat, C, D, D, B flat. You say it? 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I did not count well there at all. Did you notice? Yeah. All right, here we go. From the beginning, let's play it all together. Starting on our D, making sure we're tonguing every single note. Sit up nice and tall. Check your posture, guys. Make sure that you're bringing the instrument to your mouth. You're not trying to bring your mouth to your instrument. You guys have big instruments, so it's easy for us to like try to move our body just to get to our instrument. We got to make sure that our body is set in nice, good posture, sitting up tall, and that we bring our instrument to our face. Here we go. From the beginning, some folks do. 1, 2, ready, and... Awesome. Great job, guys. All right, so this week you're going to practice down by the station, and some folks do. All right, making sure we always do a good warm-up before we start playing our instruments. And don't forget, underneath the title of this video is the survey. It's a quick practice checklist just for you to tell me that you've been practicing and what you've been practicing, because I know you're working really hard, and I want to know that. All right, awesome, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.